If you want to manifest more money, more clients, more success, more love, whatever your desire may be, then you need to become a good investor of your frequency. What do I mean by that? Now, your state of consciousness, or you can say your frequency, consists of three currencies mainly. It is the thoughts which produce emotion, it is your emotions, and it is your attention. Now, think of these three as digital currencies that you can use to invest into a reality that you wish to create, right? So there are two kinds of people. There are people who unconsciously or subconsciously create their reality, and there are people who consciously and deliberately create their reality. Now let's talk about the people who unconsciously create their reality. Now these people, the moment they wake up, they think about all the bills that they owe, all the debt that they owe, all the love that they haven't got in their life. They think about the breakup that has happened 3 years ago. They think about all the problems that they need to fix today, right? Of course, they can't fix it all by one day, but they think like that, right? And they are so conditioned, they are so trained in thinking like this, in this negative pattern, and those thoughts, those emotions, and that the attention where they place and how they use their attention is creating their reality, right? Now, for example, let's take the lack frequency. Now, we already talked about it, right? Your frequency consists of the thoughts, emotions, and attention. Now, when people are in the lack frequency, they invest in a reality where more lack will be present. So for this video, for example, to make you understand, let's say that if you are in the lack frequency, then that means you are depositing some amount, some of your currency into the lack account, and this lack account compounds. The more money, the more currency that you put into this account, the more lack will be present in your life. And people don't want more lack, people want more abundance, people want more prosperity, but they do the opposite unconsciously, right? They worry, they get stressed, they get angry about the situation in life, and they create more lack without realizing it. Now let's take another example. Let's say you feel like a failure, right? You have thoughts that create emotion about you feeling like a failure. You have emotions of feeling like a failure. You place your attention on facets of your life where you feel like a failure, right? Now when you do this, you create a failure account and you put money into it, and that money will get compounded over time until or unless you change it, right? This doesn't happen in a single day, right? If you feel like a failure today, that doesn't mean tomorrow more failure will be present. You This needs to be a consistent, elongated process. If there is lack present in your life, or if you have been failing in many things, then that is because you have been in a lack frequency, or you have been in the failure frequency for a long time. This does not happen in a single day. If you feel like a failure today, that doesn't mean that you're going to meet failure tomorrow, right? Your frequency is long, your frequency has been determined long ago, and your frequency gets materialized only after an elongated amount of time, right? So if you start changing your frequency today, you're not going to see changes by tomorrow. But manifestations are instant, don't get me wrong. Manifestations are always instant, but for the mental plane to get materialized into physical plane, it will take some time. That is the law, right? Now let's take another example. Let's say you are feeling anxious, then more anxious will be created. You will be expecting an anxious tomorrow. If your life is filled with resentment, if you hate someone, if you keep hating somebody, if you keep living in the past, then you will be creating more situations that represent the past in the future, right? So I don't call this investing, because they are not deliberately spending their currencies. They are not deliberately investing their thoughts, emotions, and attention into the reality that they want to create, right? So this is not investing, this is spending, right? It's unconscious and it is wasteful. People think that I will just think about my problems today because they are on my mind. I will think about my problems today and I will take so much action to fix it because my life sucks. They don't realize that they need to change the frequency before trying to change the physical state they are in, right? So so you need to understand what manifestation is. Manifestation is not just positive thinking. Manifestation is not just you pretending like everything is fine even when it is not. Manifestation is being intentional about which reality you want to create, and changing your internal environment, changing your internal frequency to shape your external reality. That is what manifestation is, right? And for all the scientific people, all the rational people who don't believe in manifestation, you still need to hear this, right? So for all the people who don't believe in manifestation, if you're watching this video, then your thoughts do really create your reality, because your thoughts literally shape your neural pathways in your brain, and your emotions literally release neurochemicals in your brain that affects your behavior, and your attention, where you focus, literally controls your perception, right? If you're focused on lack, if you put your attention on lack all the time, then you will not see the opportunities that come that represent abundance or prosperity, right? Check it up online, it is true, right? So whether you take the scientific stance or whether you take the metaphysical stance, the result is the same. You are creating your reality, and that is the truth. Now let's take another example. Let's talk about the people who consciously create their realities. The first step that they do is they are focused on the present moment, right? People in this reality, they are either focused in the past or they are focusing on the future. They are not present, they are not focusing on the present moment, right? So these people over here who are living in the dream reality, they are focused on the present moment. You only have power in your present moment. You can only change things in the present moment. You don't have power over your future, and you don't have power over your past. And I mean, time is an illusion, and past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist, and the only path that exists is the present moment, right? So people are focused on the present moment, and once they are aware and once they are present in the present moment, they can focus on investing their currencies into abundance or into success or into any reality that they want to experience, right? If you start focusing, if you start having thoughts that produce emotion about abundance, if you start having emotions around abundance, and if you start focusing on the aspects of your life that represents abundance or prosperity, you will be in the abundance frequency, and you will be investing into the abundance account, and this abundance will get compounded over time. And speaking of abundance frequency, if you really want to know the intricate details on how you can shift from the scarcity frequency to the abundance frequency, then check out the abundancy protocol, link in the description. But coming back to the point, now let's take another example. Let's say that you think about success. You focus on a reality where you are successful, right? If you are running a business and you want more clients, and you're focusing your attention on a reality where you have more clients, you have more money, then you are directly depositing into the success account. And this also gets compounded over time, and you will be successful in physical reality, but you need to be successful mentally first, right? If you start having emotional thoughts, if you start having emotions, if you start having the attention of a successful person, then of course you will be in the successful frequency, and that will get compounded. And if you stay in the frequency consistently, then you will be successful. It is just a matter of time, but all manifestations are instant, but it will take some time for it to materialize into physical reality. So that is why it is very much important you be consistent in your practice. So the crucial part of this entire process is the feeling. So when we talk about emotional thoughts, the underlying thing is emotion. And when we talk about attention, when you focus on abundance, you will receive emotions like joy, bliss, relaxation. But when you focus on scarcity parts of your life, you will receive emotions such as stress, worry, what else? Stress, worry, anxiousness, any bad emotion that you can think of, right? So the crucial part of this entire process is actually feeling the emotions of your desired reality, right? Emotions are so crucial. They are the biggest contributor to your frequency. So people unconsciously create the reality that they don't want to live in. It is because of all the emotions that they go through every single day. They are worried constantly. They are being stressed constantly, right? So that is why they are living in a reality that they don't want to live in. So if you want to consciously alter your reality, you need to focus on your emotion, right? The reason I'm saying that you need to focus more, you need to start feeling grateful about the things that you own, about the things, about your circumstances you are in, and you need to start looking at parts of your life that reflects abundance, that reflects prosperity. It is because to invoke the feeling of abundance. For me, the feeling of abundance is feeling secure, feeling relaxed. For you, it might be feeling excited, feeling joyful, feeling bliss, feeling way much more happy, right? The emotions might differ on a subjective level, but the emotions do create your reality. So investing over here means investing your emotional thoughts, emotions, and attention means deliberately placing your frequency on the reality you want, right? If you deliberately place your thoughts, if you deliberately place your emotions, if you deliberately place your attention on the reality that you want to create, then you will be in the right frequency to materialize that into physical reality. It is as simple as that, right? Everything boils down to your emotion, right? If you are in the right emotion by thinking the right thoughts, then automatically your beliefs will start changing, your identity will start changing. You can start at the emotional level. Of course, you can work on your belief separately, you can work on your identity separately, but working on the emotional level is the easiest thing that you can do today, right at this moment. If you want to feel joyful, if you want to feel bliss, if you want to feel relaxed, you can do it right at this present moment. All you have to do is close your eyes and imagine a time where you felt relaxed, where you felt happy, and bring back that moment to the present moment. Then of course you will feel that feeling. And if you do it consistently, that feeling of joy, that feeling of bliss, that feeling of relaxation that you haven't been feeling all this time, that will become natural to you. If that becomes natural to you, then feelings of worry, stress, anxiousness will become unnatural or even abnormal for you, and you will start feeling those. And automatically, you will start changing your frequency. So be aware about where you're investing your frequency, where you're investing your state of consciousness. And by that, I mean your thoughts, your emotions, your attention. So the market always rewards a good investor. So be a good investor and consciously create your reality. So that's it from me. I will see you in another video.